Hello and welcome. My name is Robin Elander, Executive Director for Downtown Santa Barbara. I'm so excited to be here hosting with Matt Kettmann from the Santa Barbara Independent. And we are on our 40th show of the Downtown Business Spotlight. It's been such a joy to get to know so many different business owners and organizations in downtown Santa Barbara. And we have another great show for you. But before we get started, I want to properly introduce Matt. For those who haven't met him before, Matt is the senior editor at the Santa Barbara Independent. He's worked there since '99. He's covered a wide range of topics. And today he focuses mostly on food and drink, as well as special projects for the paper. He's a contributing editor to Wine Enthusiast magazine, where he reviews more than 200 wines every month. He has a book published called Vines and Vision, the Winemakers of Santa Barbara. So thanks, Matt, for being such a joy to host with the show. And I'll hand it over to you to introduce our guests.
Great. Thank you, Robin. It's been fun to be part of this. I can't believe it's at 40. I haven't done all 40, but I think I've done more than half of them at least.
Quite a few, yeah.
It's been fun to get to know people. I mean, unfortunately, we had to go through a pandemic, but if that's what it takes to get to know your downtown business owners, you know. So it's been fun to hear about people's backgrounds and their businesses. A lot of these ones we're, very familiar with. Some are new to people, and so we're learning kind of across the board a whole string of businesses around State Street and downtown Santa Barbara. So we've had themes to our various episodes here, and sometimes they're kind of loosely themed, and then sometimes they're a little tighter. And this one's really, I think, a tight theme because we're talking about vegan food, vegetarian food, and serving that in downtown Santa Barbara. We have three great guests, and some of them I don't know that much about, so I'm excited to learn as well. We have Maria Ney from the Green Table, which is over there on West De La Guerra Street. She'll be telling us about her restaurant. We have Dalan Moreno, who I do know a little bit. He has Rascals, which is a vegan food project that started as kind of a pop-up, then moved into BBG during the pandemic for quite a bit, and now he just moved to Venus and Furs with a little bit more of a permanent setup. So more and more people are trying his food, and he does amazing takes on Mexican food and other styles of cuisine, but in a vegan way. And then we have Nadia Ajouni, who is the current owner of the Blue Owl, which is a very popular restaurant. It's been downtown for quite a long time. She took over this last year, and she's really amplified the vegan part of that menu. So we're going to hear from all of them. We're going to hear a little about how they've dealt with the pandemic and then what they're looking forward to in the future. So let's start with Maria. She opened her business, I think, back in, did you say 2016? Is that right, Maria?
Yes, that's correct.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your business. How do you start a restaurant in Santa Barbara? That's a big task.
So my journey in this industry started a long time ago. I studied hotel management and hospitality, and I got a scholarship. I'm Eastern European, and I got a scholarship in the US with a sponsorship from Marriott. And yeah, after graduation, I went back to Romania, and with my best friend, Alexandra, we started the first restaurant there, which was actually the first rooftop in our country.
Wow, in Bucharest or
in
where?
Bucharest, yeah, with the help of her husband, George. And yeah, last year we celebrated 10 years. And we still have that restaurant. It's up and running, and it's going great.
And is that a vegetarian restaurant as well, or that's a different concept?
No, it's a different concept. It's more like Romanian and international cuisine.
Mm-hmm. Would a vegetarian restaurant fly in Romania? Would that be accepted?
Yeah, lately, probably in the last 3 years or 4. Yeah, I feel like the community of vegan and vegetarian, it expanded a lot. But back in the days, no, it was really hard. And we actually started this business with the gluten-free because that's our main of Green Table. Because I have a health issue and with my thyroid, so I need to be gluten-free. And back in the days in Romania, it was really hard to find ingredients or to buy things. So to be on the gluten-free diet, it was a hassle. And yeah.
And what brought you to Santa Barbara?
So my best friend, she moved here with her husband and me visiting them. We just try or we search on Google for a gluten-free restaurant that fit my diet. And this is how we found Rebecca and Green Table. It was Bucci's back in the day. And yeah, we basically become her customers. And after, I don't know, a few months or so, we just found out that she's trying to look for someone to take over the business. So yeah, comparing with the restaurant back in Romania, we took the easy path because we basically, took over a business that was already created and we had the kitchen. We didn't have to do construction or, go through the permits or anything. And yeah, in 2016, we just rebranded from Bucci's to Green Table. And I don't know how we didn't know back then that it's a Mesa Verde in town
Right.
when we choose the name. So yeah.
Yeah. But
Yes,
I mean, you guys
funny.
serve different. I mean, other than it being, vegetarian, vegan food, you serve different styles of food too, I think. So why don't you tell people what you sell, like what's kind of your popular dishes and that sort of stuff.
So our main is to be gluten-free and we only buy like organic ingredients, and probably 80% of our menu it's vegan. And we are just trying to, just show people that healthy food can be tasty, because I feel like everybody is trying to eat healthier, but most of our customers, they are like, yeah, but it doesn't taste good, or it's really hard to cook at home. So yeah, we kind of like are here to just, show them that it's not that hard. With a little bit of preparation ahead of time, it's really easy to cook at home and, to follow a healthy diet of whole food, plant-based
Right.
diet.
And did when you took over the restaurant, did it come with a pretty strong customer base already, or did you have to build up customers?
No, we already had, we basically took over customers too. And we kept, I will say, I don't know, in the beginning, probably 70% of the previous menu. And we still have some of the items that Rebecca created. And we still have some of her first customers. And being gluten-free, we kind of, I think like 80% of our customers, they are return customers from different reasons. I don't know, most of them probably from health issues, and they're coming here every day. So it's fun because, most of our customers by name, and their story. It's like a family. You get to know them in so many years. And
It's wonderful.
yeah, we still buy the matcha, the green tea that we are selling here from Rebecca, the previous owner. And we have a bunch of like local suppliers, and I don't know, this community and the vibe, it's incredible. I love it.
And you serve all three. What are your opening hours? When are you open? You open all day, or?
No, we are just breakfast and lunch restaurant. We close at 3 and we open at 9 in the morning. We used to be, before the pandemic, we were opening from 7:30 to 5. But we kind of like, changed the hour because of that. And right now we are in the process of maybe like extending the hours again. but it's a little bit challenging because you guys probably know it's hard right now to hire people. So we'll see. But
Right.
we are grateful. We are still here. And yeah, things are
Great.
kind of like going back to normal. So
And the Romanian restaurant's still doing well too, sounds like.
yes.
Have you ever thought about opening a Romanian restaurant in Santa Barbara?
I don't know if that will work, but why not? You know what? You never know what the future holds. So
You can teach
Cool.
some Santa Barbara. I'm sure there'd be some intrigue with that. Absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you, Marie. We'll come back to you and talk about some other stuff in a little bit. But let's move on to Dalan Moreno,
thank you,
the
guys.
mastermind of Rascals, which started as a pop-up vegan, purveyor of food, working at different wineries and places around town. And then he settled into BBG during the pandemic and just recently opened at Venus and Furs there on Coda Street. So Dalan, tell us a little bit about yourself and about the food you're serving. So you're from Santa Barbara originally, right?
I am. I'm from here. My name is Dalan. From here, I've been vegan since I was 15 years old. I started the project because I was wanting more of the type of food that I'm cooking. So I decided what better way to do it than provide it myself.
Yeah, and I mean, tell us a little bit about why you went vegan. You watched the video, right, when you were in high school, and it kind of freaked you out.
Yeah. So when I was 15, a bunch of my friends started becoming vegan and vegetarian because of this video that was circulating around about how farming is industrialized and these animals aren't treated the way that you imagine them to be in your head, like roaming around the farm in a big open field. I mean, I think there's just a big disconnect with our food in general, whether it's livestock or the fruit that we eat or whatever. But anyway, particularly these animals and the horrific lives they endured before dying, and then us just picking these slabs of meat up at the store. So at a young age, I decided I didn't want to partake in any of that and decided to be vegan. And yeah, I've just been doing it ever since. I'm now 30, so it's 15 years.
And you've and I remember when you were telling me the story. I mean, you guys were just high schoolers. You were vegan, but you also wanted to eat kind of fun, normal food, but there wasn't really any options in Santa Barbara at that time. So what was the vegan landscape like here 15 years ago?
You would eat at like Lazy Acres a lot and try to they had I remember certain things like tofu burrito. I went to Kuka's a lot. I would just get beans, rice, and guacamole. I actually worked with Kuka's to get them to have a vegan menu and start using some of the fake meats that I make, and I showed them how to use it. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty. I mean, honestly, compared to the other people that I know that are way older than me and vegan, I feel like it was a breeze. But compared to everything that exists now, even back then, they still had vegan ice cream and vegan cheese. It's just not as good as it wasn't as good as it is now. But they still had almond milk, soy milk, all those things. It just took a little bit more work. And I think veganism makes food really exciting. I don't think I would have gotten into food as much if it wasn't for veganism. You can ask me a city in the US and I could probably tell you where I would like to eat just because of veganism. I mean, not everybody could, I don't know, point to one specific restaurant and one specific dish in each city.
Right.
I think it just makes food really, really exciting.
So how did you start kind of honing your craft and making, more interesting vegan food? How did you learn that?
So the project started, like I said, as things that I'd want as a consumer. So when we first started, it was literally just serving friends on my back porch through a little window that I had, and then seeing if I could keep up with the demand of what they wanted, if it was 15 people. And we literally just were serving vegan hamburgers. So the product at the time was frozen patty called Gardein. And then I made tortas, and I didn't know how to make things from scratch. So it was all just a learning process for me. I did carpentry and construction before, I started doing this full time. And like I said, as time went on, I decided that I should try to dedicate more time to what I was doing. So I started working with other restaurants, and like I worked with Satellite and Emma West up there and try to learn more about like, just knife skills and more about food in general. Because like when I very first started, I was doing things like buying canned beans or buying salsa. Like I learned how to make salsa. I went to Mexico and tried to like learn more from friends and family and friend their family, and like started working with other restaurants and just trying to like learn and absorb as much as I could.
And when did you first start selling your food under the name Rascals?
July 2018. So it's
And
been
that
about
was
3
at-
years.
That was at Satellite, or where'd you do it first?
The very first one I did was at a, weirdly enough, it's like a retirement home that my friend's dad had a catering kitchen that, or it was like he rented this kitchen from a retirement home, and he let me rent that kitchen from him. It's called Pilgrim Terrace. It's right across the street from La Cumbre Junior High. And so my very first couple pop-ups were there.
How the older people like it? They dug it?
It was just like a room that wasn't used. So I just invited people that I knew and was trying to like build a following from scratch. Yeah. So I think maybe one older person ate it, but it was mostly like sort of word of mouth at that time, and like trying to like get the Instagram moving. Because I think I had like, I don't know, 40 followers, and most of them were my friends.
Right. And then when did you move to a more commercial establishment?
I mean, technically that was a commercial space. It was just like off the beaten path. But after the first couple ones, and I started like feeling what the vibe was like, I reached out to municipal winemakers and asked if I could do a pop-up there. And I think that was like maybe in September of 2018. And the very first one we sold out in like, I want to say like less than an hour. So it just kept kind of snowballing after that, like after municipal winemakers, Telegraph Brewery hit me up and asked me if I wanted to do some things there. And then it just kept growing, Old Town Coffee, Low Pigeon. And then, just as time went on, it just kept getting bigger, more than I could have imagined, because it was just sort of a side project that I was doing for fun while working my 40 hours of construction a week.
Right. And describe, for people who haven't been, kind of describe like some of your typical dishes. Like what are you up to, on a usual day?
Well, the concept has shifted a lot since the beginning. But right now, what we were doing at BBG before was we were changing the menu weekly, and I was trying to create really original and fun different things. But the influences are very American and Mexican. So right now on the menu we have tacos. I make the tortillas fresh with a process called nixtamal, where you boil corn, and I make my own masa. So I make cauliflower taco right now. I think I have a pambazo torta, which is originally from Mexico City. So that's a bread dipped in a like tomato-based chili salsa, fried on a flat top, filled with chorizo, potatoes, lettuce, cream, and I make a tofu cheese. It's like a cojita cheese. And we have a bunch of other things like that. I could go on and on about all the different menu items, but that's just a small taste.
But I think one of the key things that people have been impressed with by you are the meats that the fake meats that you're making. So tell us a little bit about what you use to make some of those meats, because the textures are really similar to those of us who eat meat. It's very similar. The flavors are reflective because of what you marinated in. So what are you using as like the base of that?
So the base is something that's very old. It's something called textured soy protein, or some people call it TVP, textured vegetable protein, but in Mexico they call it soya. I get my Mexico from soya at Chapala Market, and it's just a dehydrated soy fat, and you rehydrate it with water or other things like that. And I think the reason that people I don't know if they're impressed, but anyway, that's your words, but the sauces are not the same, but I mean, they hail from the same sauces that would go on meat, so the base starts the same as would go on meat. So, and I learned those sauces in Mexico, so I think maybe that could help a great deal.
Right, cool. And then when did you open at Venus and Furs, and what are you doing there that was different than BBG, not menu wise, but like service wise?
Okay.
schedule?
Sure. We opened legitimately last Friday. As a grand opening, it was very good. And then now we are going to be here from Wednesday to Sunday. But of those days, we will be open from 4 to 10. And we'll be serving the more original menu, which I mentioned has tacos and pambazos and assortment of different things, just Wednesday through Saturday. And then on the Sundays, we simplify a menu so I can get a little rest because the main menu is a lot of work, a lot of prep. So we're simplifying the menu and having just vegan burgers, which I find hard as a consumer to find other places, whether it be that the bun's vegan and then you have to swap it out for sourdough, or they don't have mayonnaise, or they don't have cheese. So to have all those components as one, I think is really enticing for me as a consumer. And I want to be able to offer that to the vegan community as a whole. And also it's easy on me because I'm just flash frying frozen burgers, Impossible, and fries. So it's like a very mellow day for me and kind of relaxed. And we'll soon be adding milkshakes. I just bought a machine, so I'm hopeful that we can get that up and running pretty soon. So I'm just excited to be able to offer that to the community.
Cool. And the service there is, do you sit down and order your drink and your food, or do you walk up and order the food and you bring it out? How's that work?
Sorry, yeah, I'll run through the model. So Venus and Furs Venus and Furs, we are operating within Venus and Furs. If you wanted a drink from them, you go up and order it from them at the bar. We're towards the kitchen in the back. You walk up, there's a POS. You tell the person what you want. They'll give you a buzzer. And then when your buzzer goes off, you come back, grab your food, sit down, enjoy, sit wherever you want. No reservations needed. Just sort of casual.
Cool. Great. All right. We'll come back to you in a little bit, talk about some other stuff, but let's move on to the Blue Owl and Nadia Ajouni. Blue Owl started, I mean, you will know hopefully, but many, many years ago as kind of a late night eat spot by Cindy Black, and then evolved over the years, and Nadia took it over within the last year. So Nadia, welcome to our little show here, and tell us a little bit about yourself and about the Blue Owl and why you decided to take over that establishment.
Well, thank you. So yeah, my name is Nadia over the Blue Owl, and my background is I worked in the restaurant industry since I was basically 18 years old. I've gone to school, I have a college degree, I've worked in the industry, but somehow always gravitated back to work. And so there was a lot of people on direction.
Nadia, it's a little hard to hear you. It might just be easier to go to she kind of disappeared there. Even just audio, we can at least hear you.
Yeah, we can try for that.
All right. Well, let's see if Nadia gets back on. In the meantime, Maria, let's cut back to, oh wait, here's Nadia. Are you back? You're on mute now.
Mute. Unmute. All right, is that better?
Oh yeah,
that is better. Yeah. So
I had to change direction.
Again. You've been in restaurants since you were 18. We got that part. So.
Yes. So I've worked in the restaurant industry since I was 18, serving, doing whatever jobs were available. But I've also gone to school. I was in college. I got a degree. I worked in the professional world as well, but always gravitate back towards working in the restaurant industry. And during COVID, it was just an opportunity for a lot of different business owners who were looking to kind of switch and get out of whatever they were doing. So there were a lot of businesses that were for sale. And I just found it as an opportunity for myself to elevate myself within doing something that I really enjoy, but kind of just doing something different within the same field. And once I saw that Blue Owl was up for sale, that just felt like really the right place to be. So.
Right. And have you been in Santa Barbara a long time?
I've been in Santa Barbara for 2 years now. Actually, as of today, makes it 2 years exactly. And it's a small community, so you really get to know everybody in a short period of time. So it's been a good place.
Great. What brought you to town? Other work or?
Just a change of pace. It wasn't exactly a work. It just kind of change of pace. I was on the East Coast in Cleveland, Ohio, and now I'm here in Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
it's a nice change. Yeah.
And so what appealed to you about the Blue Owl? What made that a good place to buy for you?
Well, the vegan owl, the blue owl has that. It has a sense of community. When you go in there, you feel cozy, you feel welcoming. The menu is incredible. The items that are on there are kind of the things that I would like to make myself at home. Our salads are so full of life. I mean, you have texture, you have flavor, you have a mix of fruits and vegetables. So I feel like it's something that I would like to serve for myself, for my friends, for when people come over. So I felt like it was something that's already in alignment with my value system as far as food and whatnot goes. So that was kind of one of the things I felt as if it was a good opportunity, because the owners were looking to leave because they just wanted to go back to France to be with their family, and the business had already it's already been established. There's a good customer base, so I just have to take it and kind of just put more love into it. It didn't really need to be saved by a superhero per se, and so I just found opportunities in augmenting what's already there, kind of like the
Right.
vegan thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so
So tell us about how did you amplify the vegan part of the menu, and how many dishes are on there now, and what kind of stuff can people expect?
Yeah, so we have a pretty nice elaborate menu. We have about 12 items on there. What we did was we took some of the items that we already have, and we just kind of made them so that they're more vegan friendly. So I sat down with a lot of different suppliers to look at different cheeses and different options that would kind of substitute, that would still kind of keep the integrity of the dish, but make it so that it's good for everyone. And so we started working with Violife cheese, which is a coconut-based cheese, and it's delicious. We have the provolone, we have feta, and we have cheddar, and you can find it on some of our salads. And we even have a vegan grilled cheese, which you can't really find a lot of places around town. And what really inspired all of it was one of my good friends, Gabby. She's completely vegan. And many times when we go out, she struggles a lot with different restaurants that don't have any vegan items. And if she wants to have some vegan food, sometimes she feels like she's judged by others, because some people might find it challenging for them to kind of cater to her dietary preferences. And when I was buying the restaurant, that was one of the things that I knew that I wanted to do. I wanted to make it an inclusive place where a lot of different communities will come and sit down together and have a good time. And I definitely wanted to give space for the vegan community to be, because I knew that that was lacking around town. And we were already kind of serving a little bit of vegan options, but I kind of separated the menu and made it so that it's just vegan options. Here they are. It's the items that we have modified so that they're deliciously vegan. And it's been doing super well. People have been coming in asking about the vegan food. Our sales for the vegan items have been increasing significantly. So I'm naturally really happy about that as a business owner. And I'm really happy to see a lot of vegan community come in and know that they can get something delicious. We even added 2 new items, the vegan strawberry crostini. So it's a grilled baguette with some vegan feta and strawberries with balsamic glaze and some Thai basil. It's amazing. So
Sounds good.
yeah.
I'm
and-
really getting hungry here.
Yeah.
Definitely love your restaurant. It's around the corner from my office, and definitely grab some takeout from there on the regular.
Oh, good. Yeah, maybe I'll see you in there next time.
Yes.
And what are your hours these days? I mean, Blue Owl, when it first started, was kind of a late night spot, but I'm assuming you're open many more hours than that these days.
Yes. So during the week, we operate 11 to 8. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, we are still doing the late night, which is how the restaurant started. We started back up in April because during COVID, it was more challenging. So now we're serving food until 2:30 in the morning on Fridays and Saturdays, it's been doing really well. A lot of people know us for that. And we're really grateful. We would like to add Thursday into the mix, but we'll see about that. So,
Right.
But consistently 11 through 8 on the weekdays, except for Mondays, we're closed. We're Dalan actually used to do some pop-ups sometimes.
And is lunch busier than dinner, or just kind of depends on the day?
It's always lunch is extremely busy. We have a lot of professionals that come in for their lunch break. So our lunch is always crowded. If you come into Blue Owl anytime between 11 and 2 o'clock, there's going to be a line, and sometimes it's going to be hard to find a seat. But we have a lot of takeout also, and it moves relatively quickly, so you can't find a seat. But our dinner time slows down a little bit more, and it's more takeout. But our happy hour is doing really well too. We added a new wine list, and we have craft beers on tap, and everything's local, only local wines and local beers too. So that's kind of attractive to some of our locals and the tourists as well.
Okay. I'm sure someone's mentioned this to you, but that spot many, many years ago used to be Bitterman's Deli, which was a Seinfeld themed sandwich shop. It was a trip. It was good. I used to eat there. But Seinfeld was always on TV, and it was funny. Anyway, well, congratulations, and I'm gonna have to come check it out and even try some vegan food. So
No,
we'll come
thanks,
back
Matt.
to you, and we'll come back to you in a little bit. Let's go to Maria again. Maria, tell us a little bit about, I mean, how you reacted to the pandemic, and how you kind of kept your customers happy, and what you did, and what you're looking forward to in these months as we emerge out of the pandemic, and hopefully have a nice summer. Maria?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
It was challenging, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, we just focused on the positive. We were closed for 2 months in 2020, from March to May. And after that, we did reopen, and it was slow, mostly takeout or delivery, but I guess we were kind of like lucky, because towards the end, maybe like September, things were starting to pick up, and business was better, and probably because of the lockdown, I don't know, but people probably felt the need to just eat healthier and go back on like a clean diet, because during the lockdown maybe you indulge in many things. So yeah, we start to pick up, and then in December actually it's always slow for us, but January, it's since we opened, January is the best month. And again, that's mostly because I feel like the New Year's year resolution, where people, they want to start fresh the new year, and again, eat clean and start with maybe a juice cleanse or exercise again.
And are most of your customers, are there a lot of people that work downtown, or there's actually quite a lot of people that live on that side of Chapala over there? So you get a lot of residents as well as
Yes.
Professionals?
Yes, during the week we have the locals and people that work here in the area, and during the weekends we do have tourists, people that are visiting. And yeah, some of the weekends, even like in 2020, we had people here even from, like, I don't know, the Bay Area. And I remember this lady telling me something like, oh, I came to I don't know, just go for a walk on the beach because everything is closed, and I want to do my hair and nails, and here I am, I want to get a smoothie. We were like, wow, people are driving from the Bay Area to Santa Barbara. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. And so people will come and find you. So tourists will come, and they're looking for a vegan place to eat, a gluten-free place, and they'll find you.
Yes. I mean, we are right behind Paseo Nuevo, so this is kind of like a good location. And also, I think in June or July last year, we did build a parklet, so we have more tables outside.
Great.
Which
Yeah,
which is great,
Great. And then is this summer looking like pretty optimistic? I mean, you're seeing more people come on the weekends and during the week. Seems like more people are going back to the offices, so you might have some more professional traffic too.
Yes, I mean, business is kind of, at least for us, back to normal. It's just the business model has changed a little bit, because in the past we did have, I don't know, like more people just sitting down, and now it's more, takeout. But yeah, we are kind of back to normal, I will say.
Great. Dalan, I mean, you were doing your pop-ups, but you basically opened during the pandemic as far as like a consistent business. How have you been dealing with that? I mean, how's business going? Business at BBG seemed pretty good. There was a good buzz around it. And how's it going at Venus and Furs?
Yeah, weirdly enough, in the height of the, or like during the pandemic, it was like a strange blessing. Like BBG's closed down to only 5 days a week. And Alejandro is a friend of my cousin's, and everything just sort of worked out. And they were able to give us 2 days a week and like a physical location to be. You know, at that point, we'd already been a pop-up for 2 years. We'd slowed down quite a bit, and I actually built a house in a lull before that. Jumped back to construction for a little bit because I'm blessed enough to have that skill set. But yeah, and then it took a little bit of time for BBG to catch on. Those first couple months were a little slow, but then after that, it really started gaining some momentum and people understanding that we'd be there every Tuesday and Wednesday. And yeah, I'd say for us, it was great. And like, you know, led into the momentum of catching the eye of the Good Lion Hospitality and them reaching out to us about, you know, taking over this residency that there, you know, there was this void and that we'd be able to plug into here, and everything just sort of worked out in a good way.
Right. And I assume, you know, I was going to ask you guys about kind of advantages or challenges to being, you know, vegan, vegetarian leaning, but I gather that people are seeking you out for this. It's not like they accidentally walk in and go, "Hey, where's the meat?" It's like, no, they're coming to you because this is what you do. I mean, is that your experience? I mean, people know what you're serving when they come to see you.
Are you talking to me specifically?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I think in a way, I can't speak single-handedly, but I've built some sort of community around the food that I'm creating, and yeah, people seek out what I'm trying to do because I'm vegan and I'm trying to create this option for other vegans as a community and as a whole. Yeah, I mean, we have a review or whatever on Happy Cow, which is like an international website for vegetarian, vegan options throughout the world. And I think that helps a lot of businesses. I use it when I go to Thailand or China or wherever I'm going and see where other vegans or vegetarians have eaten before, and use that as a point of reference to go somewhere. And yeah, I mean, there's just like a vegan community around the world.
That's great. There is a question from someone in the audience. Do all of you use cashews in recipes? So, Dalan, do you use cashews?
I use cashews, yeah, but I don't use it in every single thing.
Yeah, you use it like as the milk part or what component?
Just depends. Like I make right now, for example, we make a nacho and it has cashew cheese, and then there's like a crema. They just they're very creamy, fatty nut and can be ground down to like many different uses. People make cheese out of it, like hard cheese. If you put it through a cheesecloth and the liquid drains through, you can actually make a hard cheese and let it ferment like real cheese. There's a lot that you can do with them, as people have found. Right. But I wouldn't say that every vegan restaurant uses cashews. I don't think Blue Owl uses that many, to my knowledge. I can't speak for Green Table, but yeah, I'd say that they're in there, but they're not in every single thing.
Do you use cashews? As you were saying, quite a lot. I mean, we make burger patty, and we do use cashews in that. We have also like a cream cheese made out of cashews. We make some truffles with cashews also. So yeah, not in all of the recipes, but yeah, we use them.
Great. Nadia, do you use much cashew in your recipes? You're muted.
Can you hear me now? Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Actually, we don't use any cashews in our food at all. Our cheese that we use is the Violife, which is a coconut-based cheese, and that's pretty much the extent of it at this moment. But we're looking about adding different things and whatnot, so we haven't used any nut-based cheeses otherwise. Unfortunately, I hope that's not disappointing, but still delicious nonetheless.
Well, and while we're talking to you, how did so when specifically did you take over Blue Owl? Was it during the pandemic or right before or when?
It was during the pandemic when we were on the second shutdown. So when I took over, when I took over the restaurant, I was we were only allowed to have not even outdoor seating, it was just strictly takeout. So it was kind of a good time for me to get to know the business and work with it at a minimal, but we were so challenged as people wanted to sit on the patio and have their lunch there and they weren't allowed. We had to turn everybody away. It was rough at first. The business was kind of slower. We were having it was all takeout. So then it started to build little by little. But I know from the previous ownership that they were really challenged by COVID and they had to shut down also for a few months. And that's why they added DoorDash and Grubhub and all sorts of delivery services to the restaurant. And it's been just slowly but surely building traction. We put up a new parklet recently, and that's kind of brought us a lot of business. Folks, people walking down State Street get to see the parklet, and they wonder what that structure is. So they walk in, and although it was a challenge, it feels like we're finally getting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're seeing the sales and the participation, and people coming back and getting good reviews and whatnot.
Are you still doing a lot of delivery and takeout, or is it more and more people eating in?
Oh, it's both. We're seeing a lot of people eating in naturally, especially at lunchtime. People's lunch breaks around downtown, just walking, foot traffic. But we're still doing a lot of takeout as well. We've gained a lot of customers from some of those delivery apps, so that's been good as well. We've had new people that have never been to Blue Owl that come inside and say, "Hey, this is my first time here. I've been ordering from you guys during the pandemic, and I've discovered your restaurant that way," which is good. It's a good thing.
Right.
So. Yeah.
Great. And then it looks like you're excited for the summer. I mean, it seems to be getting better and there'll be more and more tourists coming probably.
Absolutely. That's one thing we're looking forward to. We're also just going back to what Dalan was talking about, the Happy Cow, and there's different websites. People are indeed, like you were saying, people seek you out, then ask for where's the meat. We have a lot of people who specifically seek us out for vegan options. And I've also then they ask about where else can I go around town, and we're very limited. There's only a few of us, so it's such a niche market, but it's a good thing to break into. People do come specifically for the vegan and vegetarian options wherever you go, and like with Happy Cow, like Dalan mentioned. But yeah,
we have a question from Faye, someone that's watching. She said, it's to you, Nadia. She says, Blue Owl is a really cool logo. Did you keep it all original? And what changes did you make to the decor? So I guess how else did you evolve the place beyond the vegan menu?
So I've been doing changes little by little. I didn't want to kind of shock the regular customers because we have a lot of people that have been going there for 10 years and they love it as it is. But I've kind of just want to involve my vision a little bit and clean it up. So I've kept the logo the same because it's really nice. It's noticeable. We have that in a lot of our marketing material, so that's good. I've painted, taken over the wallpaper that we used to have, the tropical wallpaper, and now it's blue. So I'm gonna start kind of taking some of the things down off the wall and putting other things that are kind of more relevant to our community. Eventually looking at adding some live shows, but we'll keep that a little bit as a sneak peek. And so we've changed our dishes, our glasses. So if you've noticed a difference, I mean, we've gotten a lot of different marketing help from different professionals. I've gotten professional photography. We're getting a new website. So all of our marketing is completely being revamped. So this way it appeals to more people, and we advertise in different places, not just online. Although we are doing a lot of things heavily online, we're also on the Santa Barbara map, which is in a lot of the hotels around town. And we're naturally in the Santa Barbara Independent, which brings us a lot of great business. And wherever we can, we put the word out there. So that's another thing that we're kind of turning up the dial, because we know we have a great product. We know we have good service. We just need to let people know that we're there, and it's working. It's a really good thing. So mild changes, but over time, it'll come into something even better than it is. So we want it to be a good place where anybody's pretty much allowed, welcome to go.
Yeah, and it's, a sub theme to this conversation actually could be kind of side streets too, because Dalan's on East Coda Street, Maria's on West De La Guerra Street, you're on West Cannon Perdido Street, so you're all off of State Street just barely. But I always love seeing energy in those corridors, because I think it just pulls more people downtown, pulls people off State Street, and keeps it interesting. So it's fun to see all you guys, entertaining these parts of our downtown too. So, is there another question there? Let's see.
Yeah, they're trying to recall an older restaurant. It's directly to you, Matt. Do you remember a vegan restaurant where Heidelberg Inn used to be?
Yeah, there was. So it was called. No, it was called Spiritland Bistro.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that,
I remember that
Dalan?
place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they used to have fun wine dinners. They actually had a really
yeah, that
good
place was
chicken.
cool.
They had a good chicken dish I would often order, but it was it was a vegetarian leaning restaurant. They had some meat stuff. But yeah, it was cool. And the other part of that question is, are all the venues today represented casual? Yeah, I mean, you guys would consider your restaurants casual restaurants. I mean, none of your white tablecloths, right? I mean, even
Yeah.
green
No.
table is still casual. Yeah.
Yeah, we are casual.
Very casual.
Casual.
Yeah. There's another question about continue to use parklets after July 9th. But I think that's, I believe the city decided to leave parklets alone. They're just making sure that those of people who have sidewalk seats are removing the sidewalk seats because of ADA, access to, Disabled American with Disabilities Act access. So I don't know if that, but I mean, those of you who have parklets plan on keeping those parklets for the long haul, right?
At least till next March, from my understanding.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
And bouncing back to the person who was asking about the casual setting, if you were looking for a more white tablecloth, but really without the white tablecloth, there's Oliver's in Montecito that serves strictly vegan food, and it's delicious. It's high end. It's a really nice atmosphere. So if you were looking for a place that's a little bit more than casual for vegan food, that's a good place to go on Coast Village Road.
Yeah.
Great suggestion.
And probably similar prices to Spearland Bistro, maybe a little bit even higher prices. Cool. Well, they've answered all my questions, Robin. We hit up a few from the audience too. So I don't know if there's anything you have to ask or anything else any of the panelists want to chime in.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just curious, since you are operating a many vegan dishes or exclusively vegan, how do you see yourselves in the local sustainability or environmental movement, or kind of in the greater picture? Is that a big part of your ethos? I guess maybe a question to anybody who wants to answer.
I can go first. Oh, go ahead,
No,
Nadia.
go ahead.
Sorry.
Well, I guess since for us, we do what we can to try to stay sustainable. We naturally recycle our cans and our bottles, and then our cutlery that we use is made from recyclable materials. And then our takeout, we use strictly paper products. So what we do our part to kind of limit our footprint, and then part of it, like that's why we really focused on our vegan menu too, is because we also want to give back to the people who give so much of themselves, they sacrifice, and to try to kind of, save the planet and in their ends. That's partially why, one of the reasons why we want to make sure that we welcome that community. So it just partly, and then we try to participate in whatever it is happening around town that helps us with that. But little by little, it's only so much you can do as a business all at once. So just a little bit to try to kind of supplant what we have with things that are better, more sustainable, environmentally friendly, as you were asking.
Great. And then I guess one other question is, if someone's considering becoming vegan, in addition to coming to your restaurants, where would you suggest they look? Where would you, is there a particular book or a source that you feel is particularly good? Maybe Maria, do you have an idea?
How not to die? No, I'm serious. It's a book. I don't remember right now the name, but you can find some really interesting facts and studies.
For sure.
About how to leave probably this earth a better place. I mean, I'm pretty sure. And
Absolutely.
also for people here, Rooted Santa Barbara, it's an organization, and they have a project, and they are really they are making you can go on their website. They are amazing, and you can read a bunch of information right there.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you. I just wanted to make sure to highlight that because it's such a big part of what you're doing for our community, and you're introducing people, and you're also keeping people healthy who want to choose that lifestyle, which is an important and beautiful choice for our greater world. So it's very important to highlight that. So anything last, Matt, or from our panelists here before I hop into talking about next week's show?
Well, thank you for having
me. There's also someone who mentioned Veg Resource Group as a good group for info.
Okay, great.
Q&A too. So, oh, I should mention today kicked off for the Independent. We're doing a month-long promotion of beer, not vegan beer necessarily. There might be some vegan beer out there. I don't know, but beer, basically it's called Indie Hops, and there's 7 participating breweries at 10 locations and tap rooms. And so basically you pick up a passport from this week's paper, go around, get it stamped, kind of enjoy the fun, share your stuff on social media. And at the end, we're having like a passport pickup party at the brew house on July 31st. So just a fun way to support our local breweries and get people out and having fun again. So that's what
Well,
we
that
got.
sounds like a super good time. I'm excited about that. I'll definitely be checking that out. Well, thank you so much, Maria, Nadia, and Dalan. We're excited to have everybody get to know a little bit more about your businesses. So next week, we're going to be talking about arts and crafts on the 8th of July, and we're going to be talking to some new businesses that are just opening. So it's Andrew Rawls with the Crafters Library. He just opened on Figueroa, and it's such a cool spot. And then a downtown staple, Sam Winkelmeyer from Art Essentials, been around quite some time. And then another new business, Board and Brush Creative Studio. So Rachel Miles and Kelly Almeida. So we're going to be talking to them next week. So today, of course, our State Street Promenade Market is happening, and we're super excited because we're going to be adding some new music and additional family-oriented offerings to that soon. And then First Thursday is coming back in August. So we're very excited about that. That's going to be August. Let's see, make sure I know the right date, August 5th. So if you're a business listening, definitely excited to get you signed up, and then also for the entire community. It's gonna be fun to have that back. So I hope you all have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. We will be having fireworks on the beach. I believe it's at 9 o'clock. So not all of the regular things this year with the music and all of that, but we will be having the fireworks. I imagine it's going to be a big day downtown. So thanks again, Matt, for co-hosting with this show with me, and we will see you next week. Great
Thank
to
you
have
for
you.
having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank
guys
you.
have a good
Bye-bye.
weekend.
You too.
Bye.